But how do researchers even start to teach these models new tricks without starting from scratch every time?
Well, that's where fine-tuning and personalization come in. Instead of retraining a whole new model, they can adapt the existing ones. Imagine giving an artist new brushes and paints instead of making them relearn how to paint from scratch.
Work smarter, not harder, right? Even for AI.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And the research mentions this really cool technique called Green Booth, which lets you personalize these models. So imagine teaching an AI to generate pictures of your dog in different scenarios just by showing it a few pictures.
That's wild. But it sounds incredibly computationally intensive. How are researchers making these models actually usable for the average person?
That's where the efficient diffusion models really comes into play. The research we're looking at actually dedicates a whole section to the latest advancements in efficient sampling and inference.
Okay, breaking it down. We're talking about the techniques used to actually create the final images or videos from these models, right?
Exactly. It's not just about training the model efficiently, but also ensuring it can generate those outputs quickly and without needing a supercomputer.
Right, because not everyone has a server farm in their basement, so how are they doing that?
Yeah.
The research mentioned something called SDE solvers, stochastic differential equation solvers, which just sounds intimidatingly complex.
It is complex, but in simple terms, they're finding much more efficient ways to navigate the complex mathematical landscape of these diffusion models.
Okay, so remember that analogy of adding and removing noise to an image.
Right. So SDE solvers are like finding smarter, faster ways to remove that noise and reveal the final image, but with fewer steps.
So it's all about optimization, making that process as streamlined as possible. And then there's this other technique, knowledge distillation. What's that all about?
It's a fascinating approach where you essentially take a large, complex AI model and teach a smaller, simpler model to mimic its behavior.
So you create these mini-me AI models
Mhm.
that are just as capable, but way more efficient. That's brilliant. But with all this talk about the tech, let's talk about the real-world uses. These models could revolutionize creative fields, but how are they actually being used today?
Now that's where it gets really exciting.
The applications are exploding right now. I mean, it's clear these models have the potential to change, well, everything creative. But what about right now? What are some concrete examples?
We're already seeing applications in art and design, obviously, but it goes way beyond that. This tech is being used in medicine, engineering, you name it.
Okay, so let's dive into some specifics. Imagine a world where anyone can create stunning visuals, compose music, design in 3D, all with AI-powered tools. We're talking about a creativity revolution.
Absolutely. We're already seeing user-friendly AI tools popping up that make these capabilities accessible to almost anyone.